What's going on, y'all? It's J Small Reviews here, back at it again with another video, man. Bringing you guys today really just one more check-in before Massacre 6 starts tomorrow. Very excited for it. Obviously done a bunch of videos covering it, you know what I'm saying, before the event, and I plan on having a ton of content afterwards. I think I'm going to do recaps and bar for bars for some of the battles. So you're going to get more just like straight reviews, even though I'm still going to have like my fully summarized recap. I'll probably drop the reviews afterwards. So expect a lot of coverage for Massacre 6. And then, it's been a relatively quiet week besides the lead up. I just saw that Rosenberg tweeted something about face-offs. Obviously him, Frozen Bros are doing commentary, which should be dope. But, reveal, that's a weird way to find out they're doing face-offs, but hopefully we got some face-offs tonight, especially for a battle like K and Rock at the very least, some of those top matchups. So, I want to talk a little bit more, too, about some people that I think have momentum going into the card, who a win means most for. But first, we'll go over what's going on this week. I haven't posted as much because over the last 3 or 4 days, there just hasn't been anything that I think is, worth jumping out over, but there is a few storylines. We'll start with battle drops first. True Foe versus Reed Dollaz just dropped. True Foe 30 to Reed. It's definitely like a load management Reed Dollaz. It's not, he's not giving full effort for the most part, or maybe this is what full effort is for Reed at this point. But Foe was good in the battle, and Foe's one of those people that's having a sneaky year too. The Snake Eyes battle, the X Factor battle, the Reed Dollaz battle. He was booked for Chef Trez. I don't know where that's going, when that's going down, but you start adding it up. True Foe's been doing his numbers on the low. I saw him and Clone were going back and forth too. I think, we'll talk about Clone in a little bit. I think that'd be a good battle. And I'm waiting for Bad News and Fonz to drop. I heard that was pretty good in the building and bullpen. Not gonna lie, I expected Fonz 3-0, nasty. I just think stylistically that's the type of matchup that he would dominate in. But, we'll see. It was a home game, so I'm not really trusting in the building reviews like that. But Bad News has surprised me a couple times this year. Besides that, Easy versus Math. It's not the worst thing ever. I don't think we need it. Them going back and forth. It is kind of funny. Math is just I think I'll 30 Easy. And all of a sudden, that's just the battle that Easy gravitates towards. But I understand he's on the million view grind. But I don't know. I still feel like there's other cats who are a little more dangerous, just make more sense, that also have the potential of doing a million views. But, neither here nor there. It's not the worst of the worst matchups-wise, but I don't think we really need it right now. And then Sue Surf, man, Free the Wave, tweeted out his hit list. Every once in a while he sends out a little message, sends out a tweet, and it usually has a lot of impact. But this one reminds me of when he returned in 2018, and he tweeted out names with devil emojis. It was Rum Nitty, JC, and Chess, for those that remember that. And this one was all in one tweet, and it's just Mook, Easy, and Lux 2, obviously referring to a Loaded Lux rematch. And I gotta say, two of those matchups, when people, bring up the topic of who could face Surf when he comes home. And I think, remember when he was, when he did get locked up, the matchups that really looked like they were coming up next was B-Dot, if you remember that, and they were going back and forth heavily. And then B-Dot actually ended up retiring around earlier even, but around that same time. And then Danny Myers. And while I do think that those aren't even matchups I'd be mad at, you know what I'm saying, happening, I mean, B-Dot, we know where B-Dot's at, but, well, actually, we don't know where B-Dot's at, but in a sense, that means we know where he's at. And then I don't think Danny would be the one that we'd want to see on a Sue Surf return. I almost don't even think that would be fair. So you need someone probably that can match him star quality-wise a little bit, even though that excitement's already going to be through the roof. I think Mook or Easy are perfect for it. Surf and Mook, stylistically, I think, makes even more sense than Surf and Lux did at the time. Although, I think it perfectly makes, both battles made sense for Sue Surf, you know what I'm saying, especially the way he's able to sell the fights, and he's a legend in his own right. But I even like the Mook one just a little bit more, with that kind of all-around skill set that's going to be shown, and I'd assume that's going to be on the stage, because that's where that return has to happen at, right? And it's someone that can maybe match him up there. If that happened in New York, it might be the one time it's fair for Mook to even the playing field and to have the battle in New York. And then with Easy, the storyline there is just, it's natural. Everybody wants to see Easy and Rock for, obvious reasons, with the gun titles breaking up and the way they've talked. But Surf will take that and go to another level with it. He just hasn't been really out here for most of the saga of it. But I'm sure the way that they could sell that battle and the way their skill sets match up, I honestly would take the Easy Surf return versus Easy. That would be my number one out of those two. And then I'd say the Mook one is still great, but I think Easy and Surf could be special. I really felt that way really while they were in gun titles, I always just thought that was a fantastic matchup. And then you're not tricking me with Surf and Loaded Deluxe rematch. I understand. And I've seen Surf setting up that play for a minute. And listen, if the battle happens, I'm not necessarily going to be mad. It's a blockbuster in its own right. But we don't need that. We do not need a Sue Surf and Loaded Lux rematch. But Surf versus Mook, Surf versus Easy, I think both of those matchups, obviously, it's a blockbuster in returns in general, but those are the two like perfect ops for it. And like I said, I want to give my final thoughts here kind of on Mass 6 and some of those years I'm looking at, that are kind of maybe more in that like top 20, fringe top 20 conversation. Some you're going to absolutely know, and those are some of the bigger storylines we'll talk about. But some names that might have been flying under your radar this year, maybe they haven't been in big matchups most of the time, like rarely, or they've actually been in like kind of battling top tier opponents, and it just hasn't always been with like the brightest of lights. So I want to throw out Emerson Kennedy, Clone, Chef Trez, and A-Ward. I think those are four names that, with A-Ward and Trez, more known for being in these combos. Maybe they don't have the hype or schedule they did last year, but they've still kind of like battled at a consistent level. Chef Trez got the Flans battle this year, crazy. Los Preem battle, crazy. Him and Clips was underwhelming, but obviously it is a name. I did have him losing to T-Top, but he was good in that battle. So he's had some of those bigger looks, but he's also battled much more, Coach Corleone. I think he battled someone called Duh Example this year. So Chef Trez has been all over the place. He's still kind of continuing his form from last year. Maybe he's not top three, but but he really hasn't taken his foot off the pedal like that. And A-Ward, outside the Tay-Rock battle, the strength of schedule, Gwitty, 100 Bullets, DG the Piranha. Like, it's been more on that side, but he's got a Thesaurus battle here on King of the Dot. Obviously, that holds weight. And then he said he's got another Legend play coming up, set in on 3 Letterman. So, Rock, Thesaurus, maybe someone else that's like of that, or like a up there name. And then you start seeing kind of that window for A-Ward. And then as for Clone and Emerson Kennedy, those are guys that, listen, Clone beat Suge and Twerk this year. I don't know if everybody knows that. I don't know if you know that he beat Shotgun Suge and New Jersey Twerk this year, clearly. But he did that. I feel like that was my critique for him last year. He was in those big battles, Av, Chef Trez. I thought he did good, but I still thought there was separation being shown on him. If you want to be in the top 10 punchers and the top 20 conversations, you got to do some undeniable things, like kind of go above what's expected of you. And I think Clone has absolutely done that this year. I've been impressed, and I do have him beating Death the Kid going in. EK's battled Sick and Ill Will. Those were good battles. Whether I had him on the losing side, there's some people that got him winning, particularly versus Will. So kind of wanted to talk about some of those under the radar years, and even to a little bit too, Sharon. I might have forgotten him in there. But even definitely, I feel like his year, he's damn near undefeated, and he's got. Some of the plates not everybody's going to care about. Listen, I understand him beating Anderson Burris on King of the Dot is not going to move everybody, but he did 30 Danny on UW. He had performance of the night on that big-ass UW card. He battled EK this year, has been pretty good. Kind of smoked him. Kind of wiped the floor with him, respectfully. He got the better of EK. And now 40 Bars, who's got a schedule of her own coming up. I'm sure that I might have a video for 40 coming up, or at least a topic, something, because she's got a lot on her plate. I want to see what she does this weekend. She started really good with Flames, but she's a topic in her own right. But I think Sharon is someone else that's kind of like under the radar for that. Then you have really the big years to talk about. I think there's 2 people, and that's first of all, Tay-Rock. I'm going to talk about Tay-Rock first, because that's the most obvious one. I know people critique kind of like, and everyone focuses on strength of schedule when there's so much more to look at, but even this video, I'm talking a lot about strength of schedule, just because I don't think everyone always knows the resumes or the accomplishments, so we're highlighting it if you missed any. But with Rock, I think he's had both, in sense of like, he's battled guys that he should be smoking. He's showing up, he's doing that. You don't get many points for that, but it's traveling around, it's having other fans see your performances. I have no problem Bankhead, Prep, right? Like, we're not expecting much danger for that, but I think it's cool that he still shows up at a high level in those. But more importantly, he showed up in a high level for high level battles. Bill Collector, A-Ward, Loso and Jerry West, to a lesser extent, probably in terms of like opponent like difficulty, but one of them was on Gnome, and the other one was a judge battle where that he won 20 racks in, 30 racks in. You know what I'm saying? Like, that absolutely matters. Even if you got Loso and Rock is debatable, he did very, very good in that battle. You know what I'm saying? And then he did get the judge result. But the Big K battle, for a lot of, like, I'd say the average fan, most years might be decided just by what you did in your biggest battle. Because not everybody's going to know all the battles that I'm throwing out like this, right? That's not everybody's job. That's a lot of raps. But people are going to remember Big K and Tay-Rock no matter what happens. So very important for him, even though I think that, he's kind of in the lead right now. I do think that right now he's having the best 2024. The year is not close to over yet. You know what I'm saying? So obviously important for him. And then John Dodon, who has just been, I saw that he announced that he's got the end game card coming up for bullpen. That looks like some important shit. That looks like important things are going to happen over there. So, and that's just to add up on what he's already had as a very, powerful 2024 so far. The Sirius Jones performance, you know what I'm saying? Dope. He's got coffee coming up. He smoked Calico earlier in the year. And, even though Cal was on bullshit, John was sound bar for bar in that battle. He was... you could watch that back just for John's rounds. He was mad good in that shit. So, Frack here, I've kind of already talked about how I think this is the best situation for Frack to win. So I think it's a very tough matchup. I think Frack's already a tough out. But I think you're kind of taking him in an environment that it is outside of the Bay. He's going to have some challenges to face, but he'll still be pretty comfortable in. So I can't wait to see what John does. He's having an incredible year. And who knows, if he's able to go through this run, another big plate, I don't know, the way he's rapping, I'm looking at him maybe a top 5 type of guy with the way, but he's still got to get all the results. But in terms of the quality, I'm very impressed with John in 2024. But that is my final thoughts here on Massacre 6. And like I said, for some of the bigger battles, I got Chilla 2-1 over Rex, I got Twerk 2-1 over Pass, I got Frack 2-1 over John, I got Big K 2-1 over Rock. I think Frack and John and Big K and Rock being on the same day is fantastic. Those, in my opinion, it's the 2 best battles booked. It is the most competitive, and it's going to be a crazy way to end the weekend. But please let me know in the comment section down below a few things. Your standout, who are you looking for to be great on Massacre 6? What's your standout battle? Any of that? Any hot takes that you got? As well as how do you feel about the Sue Surf matchups earlier? You know what I'm saying? Who would you want to see him verse on the return? And please let me know what battles you want bar for bars for from this card. Like I said, I plan on doing more reviews with the recaps because I see people asking for that. And when I do the recap, I feel like I'm leaving a lot on the table details-wise, each battle getting their shine. So whichever one you think, ahead of time or after the event, please let me know. Review this battle. A ton of coverage on the way for this event. But it's been J Smo Reviews again, y'all. Comment, and subscribe. I'm going to catch you on the next one, man. Peace.